Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. Do we sound low or do we sound high?
I don't know yet because we have a little bit of a delay.
Oh boy.
Actually, we're really loud. We're good, so the pitch is good, but we're really, really loud.
Too loud. Too loud.
There we go.
How's that? Is that better?
Yep, we're good.
A little hot, yeah. Debbie says a little hot.
Okay, so
Is that
my
much
apologies
better?
for blowing out your eardrums right before we got started, but we are the Movie Couple, and welcome to our
Welcome.
Movie Couple live show.
Yes, welcome to the segment where the next hour where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. And if it's your first time here, I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And happy Saturday, you guys. Hope you
Mhm.
guys brought your beverage of choice. A little just coffee, a little iced espresso for me with milk.
I'm just going straight coffee and cream.
And it's a good day, guys. So thanks for joining us. I know we started about half an hour late. We went to the store and Dustin and I literally said to each other, okay, we don't have too much time. Let's just grab the stuff that we have on our list. And then like half an hour, we'll be home. Great. An hour and 15 minutes later.
I know
That's
it's
how
always
long
one
it
of those
took.
things that we're like, oh, we're just going to go grab a few things and we'll be out.
Yeah.
Nope. And then like the whole cart of stuff is filled up. And to answer Vanja's question, no, I am not sick. I have just been working on a production of Cyrano de Bergerac, doing fight choreography.
Mhm.
And it was 2 days ago, I was doing just a lot of, all right, everyone, ready,
And you're masked too?
and I'm masked, so I'm trying to yell through the mask, trying to do all this coordination and yelling. And then the next day at my normal job, I actually also was doing a lot of talking. So my voice is just a little short. So that means I can do some really deep voices for fun today.
Nice. Debbie says, quote, man plans and God laughs. It's true, isn't it?
Oh no, that is so
It's true.
We're like, we've got this all worked out. We've got it all strategically planned.
We know where things are in the store, so we're just gonna like zoom, and then like as soon as we got in the store, distracted in the produce section.
Oh, hey, look over here. Hey, look at all this stuff.
I want bok choy.
I think the basket was half full before we actually started to get the stuff that's on our list.
That's so funny. And Star Drew says grocery stores are always almost 1 hour to do, that's true. And this is why I no longer go into Target. I just do curbside pickup because I can lose myself in there for like 3-4 hours, which is terrible for my wallet. So yeah, that is that. Leo says, you guys were so right about Carnage. Oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry, Debbie. The total matinee, definitely better than Many Saints of Newark. Oh, it's not the first time I've heard someone not give Saints of Newark New Saints of Newark a shiny review, because it's so like, I think there's a big fan base for that. So I was surprised to hear like a couple of people, granted it's a very small percentage, but I was surprised because they're all fans of The Sopranos. And then they're just kind of like, meh, it's just okay. I'm like, really? So it's really interesting.
I think trying to pull off prequels like that are always difficult though.
Yeah, I think so. And I think maybe they used to de-aging. No, I think they cast
a young kid.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not completely caught up on The Sopranos. Don't come for me. So I don't feel like it would be right for me to like view this movie, because I'm going to be like, I don't understand. And I don't want to go into a movie uninformed in that way. So I've skipped it in general. Amr is here. Amr says, it's rarity for me to see you guys live. My new work shifts are not very accommodating. Hey man, we miss you. Hope everything is well. I hope work is good. And I'm glad you were able to join us for today. So Dustin was talking a little bit earlier. By the way, topics for today. What if episode 8 spoiler discussion, we save that for the end.
But that's going to be held off until the very end.
Yes, at the very end, we're talking a little bit about that ScarJo Disney lawsuit. We're talking a little bit about that very expensive Galactic Star Cruiser and so much more on today's show. And don't worry if you're not caught up with the latest episode of What If, because we are going to be reviewing that towards the end of the show. So don't worry about that. If you have spoilers, we'll give you plenty of time to chit chat with us and join in the conversation until we get to the spoiler parts, and then you can stay if you want to. So Dustin was saying earlier that he's working on a production of
Cyrano de Bergerac.
So I found this interesting because I found an article for Joe Wright's movie musical adaptation of Cyrano, starring the one and only
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. He drinks and he knows things. So there's a couple of images on the website if you want to check on Collider for them. But yeah, he will be playing the title character, Cyrano. And we also have joining the cast, Haley Bennett, love her. Calvin Harrison Jr., love him. Ben Mendelsohn, this gets better and better. And Bashir Salahuddin, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And Haley Bennett is reprising her role from the stage musical in the movie as Roxanne. She's perfect as Roxanne.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
And I love the fact, too, that they're actually going to make it a musical because I'm actually very familiar with the play Cyrano de Bergerac.
By now, especially.
Especially by now, now that we're doing all this, I'm doing all the choreography for it. But, excuse me. However, I am not as familiar with the musical. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know there was a musical until we read this article. I just thought it was just a play. So I'm actually really excited to kind of be exposed to this. And also, I don't think I've ever seen or heard Peter Dinklage sing.
I think he can do many things, and I think singing is just one of them out of the many things that Peter Dinklage can do.
I love finding out about actors' hidden talents. You know, when you're just like, when you find out that someone is just a gorgeous singer or an amazing dancer, you're just like, whoa, they're just too cool now.
Yeah, amazing. So we're looking forward to that. Let me see if they have like
the Jon Snow version, the one that you just put up there by Bleeding Green. I drink, but I don't. What is it? It was I drink and I know nothing. So that would be the Jon Snow version.
That's really funny.
Drinking and not knowing things.
And hey,
you know nothing, Jon Snow.
And Cyrano is set to be released on December 31st. And again, if you want to visit Collider, there are tons of images. First look. So you can take a man. Calvin Harrison Jr. looks so different in this.
And also, I love
the sword fight.
There's the one picture with the sword fighting. I love how the costumes look. I love how the scenery looks. It looks beautiful. So I am actually really excited to see this, and not just because one of the amazing stars. Two, I'm familiar with the story, and just also want to hear the songs that are in Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of things, and since I am now also involved in Cyrano, I just am living, breathing it. So now I'm just really excited to be more exposed to more Cyrano. And it's weird. There's actually been a couple times when I've been in a production and then they released a movie.
It's like a weird, like a coincidence trend sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Weird.
When Troy came out, I was actually involved in a college production. I was just doing I was just like a stagehand, but they were also doing I can't remember what it was called, but it was talking about the battle at Troy. And all of a sudden the movie comes out and we're like, this is so cool, let's all go see it.
I love that. Let's see, there was a comment, I think it was by Wasted Poe, and literally hit it on the nose. Wasted Poe says, I assume they'll be adjusting the script for Dinklage, meaning it won't be a big nose that makes him different. And if you take a look at the image, and that's exactly, you hit it, pun intended, on the nose.
Good one. I like it. But honestly, yeah, and that's a really good adaptation too. I think that's, you don't, for Peter Dinklage, that's all you really need. Is for him. And because it's more about the fact that Cyrano is an amazing person. He's a great fighter. He's a great poet. He's a great, just a great all around intellectual. And all of that is just, no pun intended, dwarfed by the fact that he has a big nose. But putting Peter Dinklage in that role, you don't need to acknowledge his big nose. It's just naturally what is a part of how probably a lot of people feel about themselves. And I think that's just a great connection to make for Cyrano. Yeah,
I'm very excited. I think Peter Dinklage is extremely talented, as well as the cast. I don't even know who Ben Mendelsohn is playing. Is there a specific bad guy in Cyrano?
There's a couple people that he could be Valvert, or one of the other nobles that he is.
I love
Cyrano kind of
Love Ben Mendelsohn.
hits head with.
Love. So can't wait to see everything come together. And we have a question here that we're going to answer later on the show because I don't want to do any spoilers right now for episode 8. But Vin Pham is asking, what do you think about the Watcher narrate Vision's mind? He said Vision begins to, quote, aware of the, but didn't finish the sentence. So let's remember this and let's come back to it.
Okay.
Towards the that segment of the show. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here. We
do have a super chat.
Super chat time. Thanks, Dustin. Let me go ahead and grab that right now. Can I show it? No. Here
there it is. Yeah, it's just recently came in.
Shaman TV writes, the Watcher's oh shit moment when he is noticed by Ultron was the best. I mean, he didn't have to say, oh.
Yeah.
I felt it. I feel like I said it in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was like, oh no. And then the best part, and I know this is like the spoiler, but he does like a little hand motion. And I'm like, that's exactly what I would have done. That's exactly what exactly what I would have done.
I want to talk about that more too at the very end.
Yes.
When we do get into our spoilers for the episode 8 of What If. Because it
won't be too long because we made sure we didn't have too many topics.
So please, if you guys are in the comment section, don't put any more spoilers into the comment section. We will get to all of those at the very end because 100%. I do not want to ruin anything for anyone who may have not seen that episode yet because it's a phenomenal episode.
But thank you so much for your super chat, and we'll definitely be circling back to that in just a bit. Bleeding Green says, in my opinion, one of the greatest acting performances ever is Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones. During the trial scene, the whole speech he does is riveting. Imagine that being the actor.
I didn't kill him, but I wish I had.
Oh, so good.
That was such a good
respect to like actors being off page for that, because it's like there's so many, you're multitasking so much at once. You have to stand like the character and move like the character. You have to think like the character, and you also have to, put all of the emotion into all the words you're saying, so they're not just words that's on a piece of paper. And he makes it all come to life, and it's really, really amazing to watch.
That was one of the things that I actually really did start having a problem though with Game of Thrones, because in season 7 is when they started to make Tyrion be like not as like all of his plans, all of his ideas started to go like
when he started working with Daenerys.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden he no longer had the answers and he always got it wrong. And I'm like, one of the things of Tyrion is that he's just a great intellectual. He thought things through. Yes. He was a brilliant mind, but like just kind of like what he was saying in an interview to about season 8. He's like, you're fighting someone who can raise the dead, and you put everyone in a place with a bunch of dead people where they put them all into the catacombs or into the crypts. And Peter Dinklage is just like, why are you making us do this? This is such a dumb idea. Take it out of the script.
Take it out of it, but they
started doing that a lot with his character to where they just did dumb things. And it really made me upset that they did that.
Yeah, we didn't love the ending of Game of Thrones, but we obviously finished it because we're still fans. Do we still like the show? Yes. Do we like some seasons better than others? Also, yes. But I think it's okay to have like some fair criticism for something that you care a lot about. And obviously, if you loved the final season, more props to you. I'm so glad that you got to enjoy it. And I think that's the best part, is how you view it and not how someone else views it, because they're not the one that's watching, you are. Let's see here.
We got a cute sticker from Black Bono Lala.
Wait.
Down at the very bottom.
I have to go on YouTube to see it.
Oh, there it is. But here it is with the little puppy dog.
Oh my God, it's cute. It's like Falcor shaved. So funny. Oh man.
But thank you very much for that adorable sticker.
Thank you, Black Lala. So Ginger Dog is saying, you guys saw Squid Game? So yes, we watched episode 1 and 2. I started a little bit on 3, but I didn't finish. So I just kind of want to do quick thoughts on Squid Game. It's currently streaming on Netflix. It is one of their like K-contents, Korean content. Do I call it a Korean drama? I guess so. I guess I still can.
Yeah, because it's more of like, well, I guess it'd be more of like a Korean thriller. kind of a thing, because it does have that suspense. It does have that violence. It's
rated
less of
Ma for mature.
Very rated Ma for mature.
Yeah. So Dustin actually jumped in to episode 2, halfway through episode 2. And I guess we watched through some parts of episode 3 then, because he didn't see the red light, green light game. We saw the Dalgona cookie Squid Game. And that was really, really intense. And I kind of prepped him. I gave him sort of the Cliff Notes version of why these people are playing the Squid Game. What kind of essentially is the Squid Game, and just kind of based on the example of the first game, and why they choose to stay when they, essentially the majority voted to come back out, but they just loop you right back in because they know it's not their first rodeo. But what I find interesting as we go through the episodes is that I thought it was going to be very focused on the players and the instinct to survive, and then how that changes, human behavior and relationships between the players. But I like that we're getting an inside look at the people behind the masks too, whether they're triangles, circles, or squares.
Or they're squares. Such a square.
So that is really interesting. We got to the part where the man found obviously the second game, but also where the man found the little red note in his little breakfast pastry.
Well, now there are some people who have not seen it yet. So we do need to be careful of spoilers in this. But yeah, there's something that they're doing, that they are doing very well, is the fact that they're making it very intrigue, where you're like, wait, what's exactly going on? How come this is different from this? How are some people like, there's games upon games upon games upon
all child games almost.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the death games. I'm talking about there's definitely ulterior motives with with these people that are doing this, but then there's also these people who are doing this, but then these people, and it's this group is now working together. So there's just a lot
alliances
of
are forming.
And like, the one guy that you did talk about, how we don't know what he was doing with that body, kind of a thing. So
gotta watch to find out. I'm gonna watch more tonight.
I think them adding in the situation for all of the people with the masks,
I love that.
You're like, oh, because the whole time I'm sitting here going, oh, if I was like doing that little cookie one, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make it, I would rush one of the guys with the gun, and because he has a machine gun, and just start mowing those guys down.
Didn't end well.
No.
Didn't end well. Things don't end well in the Squid Game. You just have to play the game to the best of your ability and hope that you win, and then sleep with one eye open. That's what I've learned so far, but it's insane. And I want to show Dustin really quickly, because I keep talking to him about the red light, green light thing with the big doll. So I'm just going to show it to him real quick.
And they started off with you're saying they started off with like 400 and something people.
456. So they have 5 minutes to complete the game. And there she is. Oh, no.
Oh, and then everyone froze.
Oh, this is English stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good for me. Oh, wait. Do they add cuts?
Yeah, but they cut it. But I think they'll do it again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're not showing the.
It's because it's on YouTube, so they're not showing all of the.
Yeah. They're not
all of the heads exploding.
They're not showing all of that. Maybe. Okay, I'll show it to you a little bit later then. But that essentially is the big doll.
Like.
Yeah, but her head like full like exorcist.
So creepy.
Around. We got a couple of more super chats, and then also if you want to know more about Squid Game, MK Songbird is saying the Vulture interview that was done with the robot from episode 1 is a must read. Oh my gosh, 100% will read.
Wait, an interview with the robot?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that. That just sounds creepy.
I can't wait. Okay, and then Patrick says, I know Patrick's thing isn't up right now, but Patrick says, where is it? I keep trying to tell everyone I know, watch it. I was a little bit late on it. If you go on my Instagram story, I think I still might have my reactions from the red light, green light game up, and it's just camera in my face. There's no PIP, but maybe I'll make it a Reels or something like that, and you guys can watch it on my social. Okay, Bleeding Green, thank you so much for your super chat. Bleeding Green says, so take this with a grain of salt, but there's rumors that Disney Plus is creating a Daredevil season 4 with
which would be cool.
The original cast.
Which would be cool. I mean,
fingers crossed.
That is one of the shows that did really well on Netflix, where we love the characters, we love the story, we love the fight scenes. So since Disney has the rights to it and they can just bring it back if they want, it's very much to where like, hey, it worked. People liked it. People want to see it. We can easily fit this in to our MCU. Why not? I mean, it really does make a lot of sense, especially for Disney Plus to do that.
Absolutely. That was such a popular series when it was on Netflix, and I loved all of the seasons. Obviously, I think 1 and 2 is like tops for me. And I was really sad when they discontinued all of them because I wanted to see more of Jessica Jones. I wanted to get more of Luke Cage, especially where we kind of got to at the end of these episodes. So there's other characters that I want to see where they go with this, like the
especially
Defenders.
Jessica Jones. I love Jessica Jones.
Bring back Kristen Ritter. And if the theory is correct, like if the rumor is true, and thank you to Debbie saying that she posted this on Discord. Sorry, we didn't see it. If they do create a season 4 on Disney Plus with Charlie Cox and the rest of the cast, that would make sense because a lot of people are speculating that in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, the guy that slammed down, they're like, that's Charlie Cox. I'm like, how can you tell?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how you could tell because you really just like see his arm.
But maybe it's his, like the way he moves, maybe it's the way he stands. You know, some people kind of can hone in on that a little bit better than others. Us. So maybe they're like, they might be right. So if they do have him in the movie and then they announce a season 4, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. The internet's going to be flooded with just all Charlie Cox talk.
Oh yeah. Scroll back up because if for some reason you like clicked it, but then jumped all the way down.
It was weird. Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay, got a super chat from Stubby One Kenobi.
I love that
Thank you so
tag
much.
name, dude. I really love it.
Who says Wolverine anthology series also rumored in development at Disney Plus with Weapon X run in comics?
I think that would be awesome. And honestly, you can do that. I think you could easily slip Wolverine into the Weapon X project and have all of this going on in the background. Since it's all Black Ops, it's all underground. You can have all of this stuff going on in the Marvel cinematic universe, but have Wolverine's storyline underneath all of that. So I think you could bring out an entire Wolverine anthology and still tell all of Wolverine's story while all of the MCU is going on above it. And then have kind of like Wolverine it breaks free of the Weapon X project. He starts trying to rebuild his life. And that's when he starts getting involved with the X-Men or starts getting involved with the Avengers. And I think that would be great. And they're planning ahead. They're like, they know Wolverine is going to be a huge draw.
Absolutely.
So let's just plan out to do a saga of 3 films, and you start from the beginning back in like when was he, like 18 something when Wolverine when Logan comes around, when he's born and he has his mutant powers starts to develop, and then you tell the story of like him going through all of the wars, then him going through Weapon X, and then finally, hey, he's now here in modern day. Oh man, what great news if all of this becomes true. If all the rumors are true, that would be like, as fans of these characters, it would make me so happy. So we hope that happens. Vanja sending in a super chat. Thanks, Vanja. Vanja says, recommendations for my Halloween season Twitter handle. I am drawing a huge blank. So what he's saying is, you know what it is, like people change their Halloween handle to like something scary. Like, for example, I changed, this isn't scary, but when WandaVision came out, I was so excited for it. I loved it. I changed my name on Twitter to Wendy Vision instead of WandaVision. So I've never done one for Halloween, but let's see, Vanja, what is your handle? At thinking up of
names.
Is
it just I'm trying to remember his handle, and I'm trying to remember what's your favorite like horror thing, so we can try to loop it in there.
I know I'm trying to think of something that goes well with Vanja and some kind of really popular like Vanja the 13th or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or Let's see, that was Friday the 13th, right? There is.
So, Vanja, what is one of your favorite horror movies or like horror movies genres kind of a thing? So, I mean, I think that's always a good way to go, and taking something that you love and that you're passionate about and start from there.
Let's see. Hang on. I'm trying to see if I have any other comments from Vanja. So Vanja, let us simmer on that for a little bit and let's see if we can cook up any ideas for you. And we will get to wait, hold on a second.
And we do have one more super chat right under Vanja's.
Yes. And then I just real quick before we got to that, I just wanted to read whose comment was it?
I hate it. Yeah, you find it and then it goes, and then you're like, where'd it go?
This one's from Ben. Ben Xinghai says, I think Squid Game is a ripoff of some Japanese manga and their adaptations, like Liar Game, Kaiji, Alice in Borderland. In the beginning, when I first saw the trailer, because I have not read any of those manga, so I can't speak to if they did or didn't. But if you're saying it, you're probably seeing some similarities in that. When I first saw the trailer, before I watched any of the episode, my mind and yours too immediately went to Battle Royale, which is a very popular Japanese. Is it a manga? I read it in a book.
At first, that's what I thought it was going to be, and
but
then of course it's
nothing
not.
like that.
Well, I guess it's more of kind of like. I think it's going to slowly start to evolve into like a Hunger Games kind of a thing, to where it is a game. And now that I don't want to spoil it. There's something that has happened that will now change the dynamic of the game completely. So to where it was all about winning and surviving these games to where now it's going to be more of a survive. Not just surviving the games, but surviving the entire experience of being there.
Yes.
So I'm really curious on how Squid Games does start to evolve. But and that's also something I love seeing. Honestly, when I see certain things, certain movies or certain books pull inspiration from things that I love, I'm like, oh, that's just like this. I love that they kind of took that idea, especially like when I play D&D. I love it when my friends who are dungeon masters and we're playing a game and they take something from pop culture.
Yes.
And you don't realize it at first, but it's not until like the very end. A friend that I work with at the museum, he was talking about how, oh yeah, my buddy's doing this story about how there was this huge big bad and he was able to use this spell that turned half of our friends into stone, and he goes, oh, like Infinity Wars, and he's like, no, it's, oh my gosh, that's our plane. And it took him a few moments to realize that this story that he was playing was adapted from Infinity War. And I'm just like, that is awesome. And I love seeing things like that get picked up and then change. It's kind of like seeing your own what if.
Yeah. So we're I don't know about Dustin, but I'm certainly invested in Squid Game and I will continue watching it. I want to say the director of Train to Busan he's got his hands in on this one. I don't remember if he's directing or producing, but also I've spotted at least one of the actors so far from Train to Busan in the series, but I don't know if I missed any other ones, but I love all the characters. Let's go ahead and move on to Ronnie Dodge's super chat because this can help guide us into the next topic. Ronnie says, hey guys, DC Fandom 2 weeks from today. So excited.
And I'm super excited because of what recently happened. And that we got a little bit of a tease from Robert Pattinson about DC Fandom.
He's Batman.
He's Batman. I'm vengeance. But he's not doing that voice.
No.
But
it is
honestly,
a little rough.
I can't now talk about Batman without doing the Batman voice. And I'll regret that later because
I was gonna say your throat's already hurting.
So
yes, DC Fandom is upon us. We loved when their very first one. We were like, this is so well executed, so well produced. I loved all the information and the different type of contents we got because it wasn't just like clip trailer. There was a lot of discussion with the creators and cast as well. So we love that. And I just can't wait for us to get more of the Batman trailer because we've only literally had one.
no, I want to see more. What kind of? I mean, I already want to see this so bad. I am a little afraid that if they show us more, they're going to spoil something. Because right now I'm at this peak level of excitement for this movie. I love how they're changing it up. I love how they're taking it. So Batman's not as experienced yet. He's still, it looks like this is really going to focus on more of him being a detective, which we really haven't gotten as much as I would like. But yet he's still also an intimidating force, but yet there are a lot of goons out there who aren't quite afraid of him yet because he does not have the reputation. So
this is year 2 Batman.
One thing that I am a little bummed about is the fact that the Penguin isn't actually going to be in it as much as we thought it was. And what's his name?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, thank you. Colin Farrell just looks amazing in it. I mean, and plus he's just an amazing actor to begin with, and he does those menacing characters very well.
I'm so excited to watch just because he's essentially unrecognizable as the Penguin. So this is going to be fantastic. So Pattinson definitely did tease what is to come at DC Fandom, and this was during the red carpet for the Academy Museum's premiere party, which, by the way, I want to go because they have a whole Studio Ghibli section.
Ooh.
So I definitely want to go to that. But he was talking to Variety's Angelique Jackson, also a friend of mine. So I'm super excited. And he says, me and Zoe Kravitz did some stuff. It's a fun little thing. And there's lots of little surprises for it. And he basically is hinting at the footage that we potentially will be getting in about 2 weeks during DC Fandom to give us a look at his Bruce Wayne and her Catwoman. So this is very exciting. He also goes on to say that he has watched some portions of his DC film during the interview. So he's not during the interview, during the interview, he said that he watched some parts of the film. Quote, I've seen some of the movie now and it's kind of really cool. It's really cool. See, the thing with Pattinson, people take his words very literally. He kind of is, he's got that very dry humor, a little sarcastic.
I mean, even if you remember right at the beginning of the pandemic.
He doesn't he doesn't get super excited and he doesn't get he's just kind of yeah, it's really cool. And this is an actor who's probably very critical of his own performance watching himself. So for him to say it's kind of really cool to even comment about it, I think that's a really good sign.
Yeah, I mean, for him to mention it, but he also really does like to troll people, and in that dry humor sort of way, to where, what is it? They were taught at the very beginning of the pandemic. They're like, "Oh, since you guys stopped shooting, are you still working out to get into that?" Oh, he's like, "I'm not working out. What are you talking about?" And everyone, I mean, it got people were so triggered.
I was like, relax.
And Robert Pattinson is just like, I can't believe you guys fell for that. I mean, of course he's still working out. Right. I mean, I think months later, he does show kind of a little bit of his workout routine. But it was just the fact that he knew just being so dry humor about it would get so many people absolutely livid.
Yeah.
And so everything he says just has kind of that dry tone on it. So, and of course, people who are insanely excited go, "What do you mean it's just pretty cool?"
and it's no one else has seen the film yet. No one else, unless you're close to the film, you haven't seen it. So we literally know nothing except for what we've seen in the trailer, which, by the way, I love. Ronnie Dodge says typical dry British humor from Rob. And that's it. That's it. So, sometimes just take it with a grain of salt. Let's see. Rurutu says, I'm naturally gifted with 6-pack abs. Can you share some of your genes? I would
love to have those genes.
I've been trying to work out the abs. Because I'm not seeing them.
You might have a 6-pack. I'm naturally gifted with a nice little keg.
Oh, boy. DC Fandom, when is it? It is going to be October 16th, as said by Brian Dragon in the chat. And then Debbie's asking if we're going to be streaming it like we did the last time. That is the hope, as long as they give us the breakdown time.
Oh my gosh, that helps
when
so
we
much.
Are get the panels. If they essentially run it the same way they ran the first DC Fandom, then yes, we'll stream it. If not, then we'll just not live stream it and we'll just record as you guys normally see trailer reactions. So because after the Netflix to-doom thing, I've been very apprehensive about co-streaming and other streams. So but we like to. So right now the answer is yes, as long as they give us the exact time so we can pick out what we want to talk about and when we would be filming. Brian says diet get those abs instead of working those muscles.
That's the big thing is the
It's
fact,
the
yeah,
dieting,
you could be doing hundreds of crunches a day and just, but the thing is though, you can't see those abs if they're covered with a little bit of, it's the low body fat percentage that you have to get, which is why 6-packs are so difficult. Like
it's this really strict diet. Like it's like essentially lean
chicken and broccoli,
fruit. And then like I know, and we don't encourage this, but we know that some stars, when they do before like a photo shoot or before like they shoot specific like scenes, they will not consume water.
Like what like Hugh Jackman did that, Jackman did that for Les Miserables when they were filming the scene where they were pulling in that when he was pretty much in prison. His trainer was like, okay, well, I didn't tell you this, but go a day and a half without drinking water right before your shoot and you will look super gaunt. And that's what he did. And after the shot, he just drank a whole bunch of water.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a trick that some actors do. And I'm like, it's not recommended, but that's one way to get like that super kind of gaunt look.
But we do not encourage that. Like, talk to your physician, dietitian, whoever before you attempt anything like that. It's like
or like a personal trainer.
Humans need water to survive.
Yes.
So just remember that water is very important. So what else can we get during DC Fandom aside from the upcoming Batman movie? We're also going to get a look probably at the next Shazam movie, which means we're also getting the Black Adam stuff.
Yes.
And probably the Flash movie as well. And then Aquaman 2. Because I'm seeing a picture of Jason Momoa here.
But also in the chat, someone...
and Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle.
Ooh, I want to see that
Blue
Beetle information.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Someone in the chat remind me who said it. They are super excited about The Flash. I want to see that Flash panel too. I am right there with you. Because
like how involved is Michael Keaton going to be in this film?
Exactly. And I just really want to see where they're going with it. I want to see more. I want to see maybe they'll give us just a little bit of footage, or even just behind the scene footage would be cool, so we can get some pictures of like the suits and some of the scenery. But I am super excited for The Flash. I am super excited about Black Adam, the new Shazam movie, about Blue Beetle. There's a lot of DC properties that are coming to fruition that I am just dying to hear more about.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and speaking of like the dieting thing, Anne Hathaway apparently did the same thing.
Oh, really? Yeah. For Les Miserables, that makes a lot of sense because she had to look sickly. And she had right before she died.
Yeah, exactly. Sabi-Wan Kenobi says, are you going to talk about the Venom post-credit scene at all? We are not. The movie just came out yesterday. I don't think there's enough time for everybody to have gone and seen it. Though I do acknowledge that I'm sure the spoiler, all of it, somebody probably leaked it somewhere on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
But don't go diving for it. Like, if you want to see it and if you feel safe going to the theater, see it that way. You get, obviously, high-quality photo picture. Plus, you get to see the reaction of other fans who are seated at that screening watching it with you. Like the reaction in the theater was thunderous. Sorry-kun.
But also, if you do want to hear us talk about it, we do have a video up on our Patreon. Uploading today on our Patreon. That where we do talk about it and we do a full spoiler review of Venom. So if you want to hear us talk about it, go check it out there.
Yes.
We didn't want to put it up on our regular YouTube channel because we did not want to post that big of a spoiler quite as of yet.
And typically spoiler reviews do go on the Patreon page, and I don't know if you guys are aware, we literally only have 2 tiers. We keep it very minimal and basic because I already have a lot going on and I just don't want to keep managing other stuff in different tiers, because I've been thinking about different tiers, but then we have to shoot bonus content for all the other tiers, because it'd be unfair to ask for, like, oh, subscribe to these tiers and then I give you nothing. So it's literally $1 for just general support, because you think you like our content, you think it's cool, here's $1 a month to support, or $3 where you get all the bonus video content, which essentially is for the most part spoiler reviews. So there is that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, and that will be, where is it? Where's my ScarJo stuff? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Just to quickly touch on it, I know this is already a little bit older news because it's already been discussed probably all over the internet and in all the articles, but we all remember that big lawsuit between Scarlett Johansson and Disney over the release strategy for her film Black Widow, because it was doing like a day and date release, so both to theaters and on Disney Plus as well via Premier Access, which means Disney subscribers who already pay for the service still have to pay an additional fee of $25.99 or $29.99. I can't remember what it was in order to watch the film on Disney Plus. And she kind of talked about in the lawsuit how it wasn't all the money because like she wasn't getting anything from the back end of all the streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So, there were some statements that I feel like got a little heated. I wish it didn't play out in the public eye because nobody like ever wants to look at that. Yeah. But you know what, Scarlett, like go get your money. You worked hard. She's been in the MCU and playing the same character for so many years, and she finally gets her debut solo movie, albeit a little too late because I feel like she should have gotten that years ago. But regardless,
before what happened to her character.
Correct. But regardless, we got it. I'm happy that she got it. And I am happy that Disney and ScarJo have decided to settle. We don't know the amount. I don't think we ever will know the amount unless somebody decides to leak that very private information. But this means Disney and Scarlett Johansson to continue to work together. Like, you just got to handle business. She's not in like a popularity contest to like be nice to everybody. No, she's a businesswoman. Acting is a business. So she got her money, she settled, which means she was happy with the number that Disney, proposed. And they're going to go on and continue to work together because she's producing and directing Disney's Tower of Terror. So there you have it.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things too. I mean, it sounded like Scarlett Johansson was waiting. It's kind of like, okay, wait a second. They technically have breached my contract, the contract that we agreed on before all of this happened, and come with me to another deal. Come to me with a new deal kind of thing. And they never did. And
there were emails. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm kind of like, I'm glad that they were able to settle. I'm glad that it seems like it's now all water under the bridge, but it's one of those things that really did need to happen because sometimes, big corporations won't do anything until you sue them. And then it's like, oh, okay. Then now we'll come to the table and we'll settle. So if there's ever a time when any kind of company has ever done anything in breach of contract, that's a lot of times the only way to get to the next step, even though you're like, I don't want to do a lawsuit. I don't want to sue them.
Nobody wants to go through a lawsuit, guys. Like, it's not fun to go to court and do paperwork and spend hours on, and then plus the lawyers wouldn't have to bill you that money that you owe them for their service, and then whatever paycheck you get, the settlement, she's not getting the full, like you guys were saying, 40 million as being reported by Deadline, it looks like. Thank you to MK for saying that in the chat, as well as a few more of you saying the same thing. Like, that 40 million doesn't belong to her. Like, there's a cut of it going to the legal fees, to her agent, to whoever else, and then taxes.
When I got into a car accident, we had this, my car got totaled. The lawyer made more money than I did off of the settlement.
I feel like we're in the wrong business.
And I'm
should have done what my mom said and just go
be a lawyer. But yeah, honestly, those are the real big winners are the lawyers that got involved. And also, it's one of those things that it's also a lot of times a lot cheaper just to settle. Kind of a thing, instead of going through all of the litigation, going into court. And then that's also when it gets really ugly.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure both Disney and Scarlett Johansson did not want that to happen.
Yes.
And I'm just happy that it's settled. It's done. They both have kind of kissed and made up. Yep. Now you two shake hands and give each other a big hug and say you're sorry.
And business as usual.
And back to business as usual.
It's just business.
Here's what I'm curious about though, is what's going on with Emma Stone and Cruella, because I think it's the same.
And Emily Blunt as well. She had mentioned.
And Emily Blunt.
They had mentioned they were thinking about it. So I wonder, because of this lawsuit, and I think that's why Scarlett was so outspoken about it as well. And in a way, like, I hate that she had to take the brunt of it, but in a way, it said to other actors kind of in a similar situation going, well, wait a minute, I got to look at my contract as well, because sometimes you're so caught up in filming the movie and doing the promo, and like by the time the movie comes out, they filmed it a couple years ago, and you're not thinking about it until you see this. You're like, hey, let me call my rep and figure out what they say. So I think this way, the performers can be conscious of like the next time they sign a deal, ask for these things, because again, the streaming thing, the day and date release, that has not been a thing before. It's relatively new. WB had to deal with that as well, because they were doing it, and they paid their creators on the back end of what they estimated the streaming stuff would make, which is why we didn't hear too much about it until like the Scarlet thing. But now that that's out, I think, if they continue to do like day and date release or whatever it may be, I think there's going to be like an addendum or something like that to their contracts for sure. Like it'll be asked and it'll be built in, whatever it may be.
Yeah. It's kind of like now that they've gone through this, it's like, okay, we now know how to deal with it. We now know how to move forward. So everyone's happy. And that's the goal to get, is that not just that you don't have just one person super happy and everyone else kind of like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Everyone's a little happy. Everyone's a little disappointed. So it's a nice blend of it. You must have balance in the force.
They agreed on it, and we can all move on. And let's go ahead and move on to still in the world of Disney, but in the theme park realm. So you guys have heard us talk about that Star Wars immersive hotel that's very, very expensive for just 2 nights. It is called the Galactic Star Cruiser. And while guests cannot start staying there until March of 2022, you can start booking your trips and your rooms starting this month, October 28th. I think it's the day you can start. I'm very curious to see if they do indeed sell out, and like what type of people have the money to spend.
Yeah,
it's between the two of us, without putting in the cost to like travel to Florida, it's just under $5,000 for the two of us for like the most basic package,
for like
basic room.
For just 2 people for 2 nights. That's like $1,000. That's $1,000 a night each.
And that's not including, again, travel to a plane ticket to Orlando, and obviously other lodging, because you can only stay at the Galactic Star Cruiser for 2 days. So then
you have to have lodging somewhere else to go. I mean, because I'm pretty sure you don't want to go all the way to Orlando just to have 3 days of, well, technically 2 days of Disney kind of thing. And also there's a lot of stuff that does make it worth it. I mean, there's food included. There's the tickets into Disneyland.
But you're guided.
It's very guided, very controlled.
Yeah.
Very scheduled.
You're on a tight schedule. They run a tight ship around here.
But I am dying to see some video of when people start to go, because there's just going to be tons of hopefully vloggers, some vloggers that go.
Ordinary Adventures is going to be there.
Oh yeah, and just drop that money, because I want to see what the lightsaber training experience is like. Because me, Wendy and me, we're into our lightsabers.
We have so many, and we keep buying them because we're just.
We have so
many.
But I'm also just really curious to see what it looks like inside more.
Yeah.
I want to see more of how the entire ship looks. Some more idea of what the role playing is like there.
Yeah, I'm so curious. And apparently you get costumes as well. Like they kind of gear you up for the costume. So, and then there's food, they feed you. It's all, so the food is not additional unless I think maybe like if you're ordering, similar to
like alcohol
on a cruise ship. Yeah. You have like that sign and sale card if you go to like the carnival stuff, but then if it's alcohol, it's not included. You have to pay extra for the alcohol. But if you want like water, soda, iced tea, fruit punch, anything that's like non-alcoholic, because it's essentially low cost for them to get that for you. It's included in the package, like the 24-hour pizza buffet that I love so much when we used to go on cruises, not anymore. And the ice cream, the soft serve bar.
Unlimited ice cream, unlimited pizza.
So good. So good. So yeah, I'm curious about it. If you let us know in the comments or in the chat, if you are one of the lucky few who can afford it and is like, yes, I don't care. I'm going to go because I love Star Wars. So more power to you.
You know, technically, March is our anniversary.
That's so expensive. I could go to New Zealand for that money.
Yeah, and we could spend a lot more time in New Zealand
Breathe
than just
the freshest
2 nights.
air possible.
There are a lot. I mean, it's one of those things. But you know what? I think it's best to actually wait, see what some of the reviews are, and see what some of the videos are, and some of the what people, and also for them to work out the kinks and the bugs, because there's going to be those opening month problems to where they're like, oh, this didn't quite work out as well as we had hoped.
I bet you they're doing a soft opening.
Oh yeah,
and they'll invite journalists, press, blog, Disney theme park bloggers.
Hey Disney, we'll be happy to come in and do.
Wishful thinking. Our number's way too low for Disney. Pay attention. Theme park wise.
Yeah, there are tons of other amazing channels out there that specialize in theme parks.
I am positive Peter and Kitra over at Ordinary Adventures are going to go, and when they do release the video, like, I'm positive. I don't know. I haven't talked to Peter in forever, but I'm positive they're going. And when they do go, we're going to be watching their video. And with that, let's go over to another piece of Disney theme park news, and we're talking a little bit about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So this is the new ride that is opening in 2022, only in Epcot for now. So this is, let's see, what was special? Oh, that's right, because right now it's the 50th anniversary of Disney World. So the Disney Parks blog, which is the official Disney Parks blog, announced that the upcoming attraction is going to be opening in 2022. Prior to that, it was just like coming soon. We don't know.
It's been in the works for a while.
Yeah. So this roller coaster, I think why people are very excited is because it's the tech on it, and Disney in all of their parks, including cool rides like Rise of the Resistance, don't have a ride with tech like this one. The ride itself rotates 360 degrees. You go forward and you go backwards. Let's see. So like basically when you're rotating, so that your focus is always on the action, and you're supposed to help the Guardians save the galaxy again. So this is super exciting. I think even James Gunn did a little tweet about it. He's like, been working on something like this. Can't wait to show you guys, or something like that. Because, he loves, that franchise. Obviously, he's got his hands deep in that. So very excited. And
I'm really excited for this too, because they took out that one huge exhibit with Ellen DeGeneres. It talked about dinosaurs, and the last ride on that happened a long time ago. It feels like to where they stopped they did a big celebration for it. They put out a lot of video of people actually being able to like walk through the ride. But so cool. That has been down for quite some time, and I'm really excited to see what they're actually going to be putting in there.
So Debbie and I have it highlighted right now, Movie Bunch Debbie says the ABC special last night, we totally missed it, showed a piece of the ride. So I'm looking it up right now to see and they also have like the Epcot, this Spaceship Earth light up in all different sorts of colors. It's absolutely gorgeous, but I want to see if we can find a little piece of the ride right now. Okay.
Before, Xandar's coming to Epcot. And the space behind us is what they call the Galaxarium. It's where
Galaxarium.
That's where they have the video for
the pre-show.
The pre-show.
Piece of the wonders of Xandar. There is so much going on all
around.
Can you guys hear a little bit?
Guardians of the Galaxy show up. You're gonna get pulled into a cosmic.
Those are the right vehicles.
That looks so. Okay. I like where this is going.
We can't wait to show you more and more details as they unfold. And we really believe that when the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion opens, you will agree that this new neighborhood, World Discovery, will take on a whole new meaning. Back to you, Zach.
And I like that too. That World of Discovery. That is one thing that makes me really excited to ever go to Disneyland Paris, because it's not Tomorrowland, it's Discoveryland. And the idea of Discovery gives you a lot more flexibility with being able to put whatever you want in there. You don't have to update it constantly like you do, like, say, a Tomorrowland kind of a thing. So I'm really excited in the direction that it seems that they're going.
And kind of speaking about our New Zealand trip, instead of using the money to go to Galactic Star Cruiser, we can go to New Zealand. And Love Entertainment says, "You beat me to it." Oh, because Dean's from Australia. Says, "You beat me to it. I was going to say side trip to Australia. I'd love to visit Australia. We got a couple friends there, actually.
Mhm.
My friend Justin is there. Taylor is there. So we can go in and say hi. And then what's funny is it exploded then because Brian says, Australia snakes keeps me away from them.
Yeah, that is one of the things. If I'm not mistaken, 9 out of the top 10 deadliest animals on the earth are in Australia. And also they have spiders that are like, that
Are they
big.
going to be if we stay at a hotel in like the city though?
Probably
like
not.
If we go to
as
Brisbane, if we go to
much.
Sydney, like I don't think we'll find them there.
Well,
right?
that is actually a good question for some
for
of our,
Dean. Yeah.
for some
So
of
Dean, let us know, what parts of Australia to visit if you don't want to find scary spiders. I
But
can
this
probably do with everything else but the spiders.
Mhm. The spiders and yeah, I'm actually not. I don't have a problem with like snakes or anything like that.
Cockroaches. You don't like
Oh,
cockroaches.
cockroaches!
Dean says, "Yeah, but you'll be fine." See, he says you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
But I'm really excited about the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind coming to Epcot, and it just makes it so we now have to do a whole Orlando trip again. Well, we haven't been to Orlando in
since
a long
2013.
time. But speaking of that, I do like the fact that Rutu put in there. Didn't Thanos wipe out Xandar to get the Power Stone?
When you put them in theme parks, timeline does not matter. Everything is retconned. It still exists.
Exactly. Kind of like in this one, you still have Baby Groot, even though we have seen adolescent Groot now in the Avengers movies.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Should we move on to the next topic?
Next topic.
I think we finally approached. Oh wait. Okay. One more thing. One more Disney thing, and then we're gonna be done with Disney, and we can talk about what if. So, I saw this in our Discord, and I think it was MK or Blade who posted it. So can't remember who it was, but thank you so much for posting it. So you guys know that when you go to, this is only at Walt Disney World. I know the technology is definitely not here in Disneyland because we've gone to Disneyland recently, earlier this year. I don't remember seeing it in Tokyo, and we went in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Walt Disney World is the only one that has it. It's called the Magic Band. Essentially, you link up all of your Disney account, your tickets, whatever to it, and you kind of scan yourself into things. And then, yeah, exactly. And then if you're staying in one of the Disney hotels, then that's like your room key as well. So you never lose it. I think maybe you just don't shower with it.
No, I think you still can because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it should be waterproof.
Because
if you go on
rides.
Splash Mountain, if you go on any of their water rides, yeah, it's going to get wet.
When we go, I want one.
Yeah, because honestly, one of these days we're gonna have to do just like a 2-week Disney
when
Orlando
it's safe
trip.
to do so, Florida.
Probably not until maybe end of 2022,
2024.
2023,
I think
around there. 22.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, even more than that.
2024. So just announced Disney Band Plus. Everything's got a plus at the end of it now. Disney Band Plus will debut in 2022 as a part of the
California Adventures Plus.
The movie couple
Plus.
So they've released the Magic Band Plus as a part of their 50th anniversary celebration, and it's supposed to be very immersive. So the original band was introduced in 2013 at Walt Disney World, and they make the guest experience in the theme parks a lot more convenient, hands-free, so you don't have to be digging for that one paper ticket that could get soggy on a ride, that you could lose because you're pulling something else out of your pocket, and boom, on the floor it goes. And then what do? Then you have to
bye-bye.
Yeah, and that just kind of creates a little bit of chaos for your trip when you're trying to. Time is important when you are in a theme park. So the Magic Band Plus is going to retain some of the popular features like theme park and guest room entry, retail and dining, a photo pass, and more. So all of that's going to stay. But after you enter the theme park, the Magic Band Plus is going to come alive at various times with color-changing lights, haptic vibrations, and gesture recognition. Whoa, so it's wearable, obviously, and it's going to allow you to engage with your favorite Disney moments in a new way, including Play like a bounty hunter in a galaxy far, far away and find virtual bounties throughout Black Spire Outpost at Galaxy's Edge. You can interact with Disney Fab 50 Characters Collection, the Golden Sculptures spread throughout the Disney World theme parks. You can experience Nighttime Spectacular in a new way when you see your band light up and complement the magic in the sky, including the new Harmonious show that's at Epcot and the Disney Enchantment at Magic Kingdom. So this is going to be available to purchase starting next year, not this year.
And I've seen some pictures from that, like what they're planning to do for Disney Enchantment, to where there's a big firework behind the castle, and all of the fairy dust or pixie dust starts to just cover all of Main Street. And I saw that on Twitter, and I was just like, "That looks so cool!"
Go to Disney World, man. They do everything so much better there.
Oh yeah, and I'm just dying to just see all of the cool stuff that they're kind of like, "Hey, you know how we've kind of been, not quite able to move forward for the last 2 years. We're gonna make up for that now."
Yeah. So we can't wait till we go. I'm sure there's going to be many theme park vlogs from the people who gets them whenever they become available. And I want to see how interactive it is. One of the cool interactive things that Walt Disney World had throughout just Magic Kingdom was the Magic Sorcerer like card game.
Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
And it was really cool. It was very interactive. And then they took that away. And maybe it was to make way for this. And maybe this is sort of them tiptoeing back into that, because that was such a fun game, especially for frequent visitors
who knows, maybe now instead of having to print out all of these cards, you can now do it all digitally, and you can do the game digitally, and you can now it's either on the wristband, or you can have like the app on your phone connected to the wristband and then be able to play Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom
if they plan to bring it back in that way. Yeah, that'd be super
I would love to see that, because that was, like you said, it is super fun. And it gives you something, especially if you're a season pass holder, to constantly go back.
And it diverts the crowd too. So they don't necessarily need to be like bottlenecking into a ride. They can be like, oh, look, let's do this while the other people are waiting on a ride. Let me just go and do this. So we'll keep you posted with more theme park news. And now for the final part of our show, let's go ahead and talk about What If Episode 8 spoiler discussion. If you have not watched
spoiler.
If you haven't watched the latest episode of What If, entitled What If Ultron Won, we might have to say our goodbye to you here, because we are going to dive heavily into the spoilers for the latest episode. So if you haven't watched it, if you don't feel safe because you might hear you definitely will be hearing spoilers, we will say goodbye to you here. But if you have watched the episode, you want to jump in on the discussion, then fire up your keyboards, put your comments, thoughts, theories, whatever it may be, in the chat. And because here we go, the
spoiler floodgates are
open plus.
So let's start by jumping back to the super chats.
You have to. I don't have that anymore.
Oh, you can't go.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Okay, let me see if I can.
I can't. Yeah, I cannot go back any further than that.
Okay.
But this is an amazing episode. I loved the whole storyline. There were a few little things that I kind of were like, that I wish they would have been able to spend more time on. But
Agreed.
The problem is, you only have 20 some odd minutes in order to tell your story. So you want to get like the parts that you just get the story going. You have to cut some of these things in order to be able to get to the main meaty, juicy parts of the story. But yes, the main storyline is, what if Ultron won in the second Avengers movie?
Wow. Way more destructive than Thanos could ever. Thanos could not even compare. Because
well, also Thanos' mission wasn't to destroy all life.
That's also true.
In the galaxy.
Yes.
But that was what Ultron was planning. That was his goal, is destroy any living thing in not just his planet, but any living thing all throughout the galaxy. And honestly, I had a pretty big chuckle at the moment to where Ultron is like, I have defeated Earth. And then, Thanos comes out with the Infinity Gauntlet, and he goes, interesting, slices him in half.
Yeah, you said it was too quick. A couple of people did agree with you in our video, and then there's a couple of other people commenting, like, actually, it's not too quick, because Thanos likes to put on the theatrics and like deliver this and deliver that. And with Ultron, he's kind of like, and he's already connected to the Mind Stone, so he didn't need to activate anything. He just
Ultron would be able to react faster and process information faster, and also be able to use his stone faster than anything Thanos could have done.
Yeah.
Because since he is the epitome of a supercomputer, he can just all of a sudden go analyze a situation, think of the best way to solve that problem, and activate it or engage it as quickly as possible, where Thanos did not just have any time to react.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, to where I would have loved to have seen more of a big battle clash between Ultron and Thanos, it does make sense to where that simple slice in half
just gets rid of the problem. He's like, problem? No.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate it. Don't care about you. You don't matter. My objective and what I want matters.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got no time to talk. It was so quick, unexpected. So I couldn't go all the way back up to our super chat, but he basically was saying that what do we think about the part where Ultron first noticed the Watcher, like another presence watching him.
That's right.
And as Uatu was narrating, he stopped, and it was just kind of like, oh God. So that I believe that was the super chat, and that was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That we kind of saw it coming, because it's not the first time the Watcher's presence has been detected. The only other person that's done in the series so far was Doctor Strange.
Yes,
but he was like the supreme.
Well, that was
Doctor Strange, right?
Doctor Strange was the only one who actually had like a direct conversation with him.
Correct.
There were other people who sensed his presence, as in he was like, wait, we're like, the characters like, is there someone there? Like they knew there was something there, but since they couldn't see it, hear it, or communicate with it, they just shrugged it off. But they did feel that presence. So it would make sense that someone or something like Ultron that has all of the Infinity Stones, hyper aware, and also at this moment completely kind of focusing now, I have achieved my mission. What do I do now?
Yeah.
And I love how the Watcher has, throughout this entire series, has been very much that, a watcher, a narrator, someone who has been very separate from all of this, now becomes a central involved character.
Yes.
And I am so excited to see more of the Watcher as an involved character in this series.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of Eagle Eye fans out there that watch our reaction videos and who are also super devoted to the show, have noticed from, like, I think within the very early on in the series, saying, hey, did you guys notice that with each episode, the Watcher, when you see him, for episode 1 with Agent Carter, he very much blended into the background. Sometimes you don't even, at a quick glance, you don't even notice him, but throughout each episode, the image of the Watcher becomes more and more clear as they draw him, and it all leads into this. So I love our Eagle Eye fans and viewers who noticed that. And this was building up to like the biggest showdown, because we had been curious, like, okay, so the Watcher watches multiple different universes. He obviously doesn't interfere, but he's obviously got to be pretty powerful to be in the position of where he is. So when we finally got to see the face-off between him and Ultron, it was really scary and satisfying to watch. And I say scary because of how powerful we know the Watcher to be, and how at times he was so overpowered by Ultron.
And that would make sense too, because Ultron has all of the power of the Infinity Stones. So, and being able to use it as quickly as he can overpower someone like the Watcher. And there was a few moments when I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, are they actually going to kill the Watcher? And then when
he grabbed the skull and he
started to shatter like that, I really thought that, they might kill him, because they have shown some dark stories in the past, and then just have another Watcher is the one that takes on Ultron, because that was a little bit of some incontinuity that I had a little bit of an issue with from the episode with Thor. It shows Ultron actually going into his world, and the Watcher kind of going, oh, well, maybe I was mistaken. kind of a thing. And but the thing is, though, as soon as Ultron started to go from different universe to, multiverse to multiverse, that is immediately when he started attacking the Watcher. So the Watcher would have known who this Ultron was during that time. So I'm wondering if it's a different
that's
Watcher.
why you wondered if there are multiple Watchers.
There's also that scene at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that has Stan Lee with all of those multiple Watchers around him. So
but I feel like it's the same one.
I think it's the same one.
I totally get what you were saying, though.
So I'm just curious. So watching that scene, I really did think that, they might kill this Watcher, and it's another Watcher that goes and starts to battle Infinity Ultron. So just a theory that I had, and I just loved how watching the Watcher all of a sudden become when he's like
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he goes Ultra mode, but also that one moment when Natasha and Hawkeye are going through all of those papers in Russia.
Oh my gosh, how
you actually
funny.
Hear the Watcher give out a little like a little squeak of no, you're supposed to keep on going. You're human. You always have hope.
The answer is right there.
It's right there.
It's right there.
I love seeing those moments of panic.
I felt like I could see
Watcher.
Jeffrey Wright.
It seemed like he had a lot of fun, at least with that scene, to where he does go. And if you listen to it, he has a little bit of a squeak, and I loved that moment.
And kind of the oh shit moment when he finally noticed that he was being noticed by Ultron, and it was that quick wipe of it. Almost looks like the Mirrorverse that the Ancient One had put Doctor Strange in, and he did a quick wipe, and it all kind of went away. But you knew that Ultron was going to find a way to break through, because at that point of the story, the Watcher did specifically narrate and say, like, Ultron was obviously only aware of this universe, so therefore he's already done everything he could do in this universe. So he's was bored and like he had like ascended, and all of his senses were heightened. So of course he was going to find a way because he was bored. So he's like, well, let me find this new thing.
I love that too. Yeah, the fact that the Watcher is starting to kind of narrate the story, but as he's reading the story of this multiverse, and then he's kind of like, wait, what am I saying? How is this? And then he looks up, and then he sees Ultron completely aware of him, and he's like, oh, geez. And he does that swipe. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, how does the Watcher actually have all of this information? Is it something that he's always aware of?
I think we're going to find out in the next episode.
I'm hoping that they discuss that a little bit more, to where they're going to be talking about whether or not it's something that he's constantly 100% aware of, or while he's looking in on this multiverse, he's reading it like a book. So it's like a book that he might be familiar with, because he said he's looked in on this timeline many times before, and every time he does, it always breaks his heart, because everything gets destroyed.
Wow.
So it's a story he's familiar with, but he's never read all the way to the end.
Interesting
theory. Or
theory.
It's constantly evolving until that moment that he's realizing, he knows I'm here.
There's also a comment in that specific reaction video where somebody kind of also used a very similar analogy of like him being in a library reading the books.
Yes,
about
I remember
it.
that.
So I think that's a really cool way to look at it too. We've got a super chat from Stubby1 Kenobi who says, theory for what if ending: Zombie Thanos versus Ultra Vision versus Multiverse Avengers. Post-credit live action Watcher / Strange Supreme discussing Galactus.
That would be cool.
I think you weren't the only person to say Galactus.
Even though it had nothing to do with Galactus.
We know it's not, but
there was some
similarities.
The visual made me think of Galactus when Ultron has that, and he's like
eating the universe.
Eating the universe in that one multiverse. So having that moment just made me go, oh, Galactus. Oh, wait. I think it was just the fact that it was a similar what is that called? A similar imagery.
Yeah.
That made me think of Galactus.
And I hope they bring it in. And then we kind of looked back into rewinded the episode back to that point after we finished our reaction, just to make sure. We're like, was it? Because it was so quick.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Brian says, I can't wait for the Celestials. in the Eternals. You know, a part of me wonders for next week's episode. One, maybe it'll be the longest out of the 9 that we've gotten.
Oh, I hope so.
I maybe they bring in the Celestials or the Eternals into it.
Very true.
What if they do? I mean, they're literally killing Thanos, who is a celestial being, is he not?
Thanos?
Deviant.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they do kind of bring it up in the Eternals. So it would make sense to have, and that's also the next big Marvel movie coming out. And this is the last Disney Plus series that before the Eternals, I believe. So it would make sense for them to tease something in the Eternals in What If.
Yeah.
So where they kind of talk about a little bit of the Celestials or the Eternals, and there's just so many things that they can do. I'm very excited to see what they do.
Let's see here.
Also Brian, I think you clicked on the his comment before.
Okay, which one?
The one that says Tony Stark dying must be an absolute point.
Yes.
Because any single show that has any of these episodes that have had Tony Stark in them, he's died in every single one.
It's probably why they didn't bring back Robert Downey Jr. and be like, here, can you voice every single episode? By the way, die in every single one of them.
So I'm wondering, if Tony Stark dying is a absolute point, which means that for Doctor Strange, his girlfriend's name, I'm sorry,
Pepper Potts?
No, Doctor Strange.
Oh, Christine.
Christine. I'm wondering if Christine dies in our MCU timeline sooner or later, because if that is an absolute point, kind of like how Tony Stark is, she has to die, and it's going to motivate our Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, into something else that's makes him more powerful, more important. Whereas her dying was his origin story in this one, but for the next one, her dying elevates him to the next level of Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah, absolutely true. I mean, this episode was so bananas. Like, I remember being so tired right before we watched, because we have to watch at midnight. And about 2-3 minutes in, I was like, I think I know what this is going to be. Like, this is going to be a bonkers episode. And indeed it was. I felt like we were very well treated as Marvel fans to be like, what is this? Just yelling at our TV. And I feel terrible for our neighbor. It's like, why are they yelling at something every Wednesday? Every night. Yeah, every Wednesday night. Or Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Why are they always yelling really loud?
So Dustin's got a theory for next week's episode that, and I think a couple of you guys said it too, like the multiverse Avengers. So you think that the Watcher, we find at the end, going all the way back to episode 3, Doctor Strange, to ask for help, which is, I did not expect. This,
but I see it now. I need your help.
Oh my gosh. So he'll be bringing in Dark Doctor Strange.
So
Supreme Strange.
I think it's Supreme Doctor Strange. We're going to see T'Challa Star-Lord. Potentially. Oh, that would be interesting, because we've already seen our 4 episodes with T'Challa.
With Chadwick
Boseman.
That means he might not
be coming back.
Wait, really? T'Challa episode? Killmonger episode?
Zombie episode.
And then
maybe there's one more.
That's 3. Is there another one?
There's either 3 or 4. That's the whole thing. But I am very curious to see if they bring in T'Challa, Star-Lord.
If our count is
Dr. Carter. Captain Carter.
Yeah. If our count for how many episodes Chadwick has performed in so far, then there is one more, and then that could mean that he's in the final one as Star-Lord.
That would be cool. I would love to see that. And actually, I think I've seen some footage of T'Challa Star-Lord that we have not seen yet. We also haven't seen Gamora Thanos.
Yeah, you keep saying, I don't remember seeing that image at all.
There's a poster that has her in it that makes me go, we haven't seen her yet. So she has to make an appearance somewhere.
And Noah in the comments, hey Noah, says Chadwick has one more episode, which is the final episode. So that most likely is when they do the Avengers spin shot. You know, the one that's in the regular Avengers movie, but now it'll be in this one. Also, we definitely did notice Gamora in episode 8, which means for Thanos, in order for Thanos to get the Soul Stone, he probably sacrificed Nebula instead of Gamora.
Well, no, because he had to sacrifice Gamora because that was the one that he loved.
But we saw her. We saw her in when Thanos was when Ultron was wiping out the Soviet,
Subnova. Oh.
On the Soviet.
Yeah.
So we saw her, but he has the stone, which means, and I don't think Gamora and all of them survived that, because that whole montage was him erasing Xandar and Ego even. So it had to have been in order for Thanos to get the Soul Stone, he probably sacrificed Nebula instead in this what if scenario.
No, I mean, honestly, there's so many possibilities on what could happen. That's why I'm just always so excited to see what they end up doing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Real quick thing. I just want to look up something real quick. Come on now.
Oh, and that is right, Sean. I guess in a different universe, Thanos could have sacrificed. It could have loved Nebula more than he loved.
Correct.
More than he loved Gamora.
Correct.
So he could have sacrificed Nebula. And since Nebula is so eager to please, she could have been more willing to sacrifice be willing to be sacrificed, kind of a thing. So that her father could have the power that he needs to achieve his mission, just to get cut in half by Ultron.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. W1 Kenobi says, in the multiverse, the
Thanos
stones
sacrifices Howard the Duck.
Oh, sad. Can you scoot this way a little bit? I feel like you're slowly drifting off screen.
Slowly falling off.
Let's see. Okay, Brendan says you don't have to make the sacrifice to use it, only to obtain it.
Oh,
but yes. Sorry, I misspoke. But he did have it, which means in order to get it, I don't mean to use it. You're right. In order to get it, he had to sacrifice somebody. So if Gamora was alive and we never saw Nebula, one can assume that it would be Nebula who he sacrificed, but we don't know. We don't have a straight answer unless the show says this. So that's super speculation. But
also here's another thing too. If Nebula was sacrificed, that means Thanos loved her. Would Nebula have all of the
probably
robotic
not
pieces to her?
Probably not. And then also Brandon continues to say someone else may have made the sacrifice. So that's true.
And then given the stone to Thanos.
It could have been a different way.
There's an infinite number of possibilities.
Let's see, anything else? Ooh, okay. The Eternals is debuting at the Rome Film Festival, which often means the film is quite good. I have a pretty high expectation for the Eternals. Chloe Zhao is, at the helm for this one. We've got a cast of really fantastic actors who all look beautiful. I guess that's a requirement to be in the film. You have to be pretty to be in the film. So I can't wait to see the Eternals, which is coming out soon. And I really do wonder if we'll get a glimpse of, I know some of you guys are saying the Celestials, some of you guys are saying this and that, what we'll get to see in the final episode. We can't wait, but we only have 4 more days. 3, kind of. 4 more days before we see it, because we get to see it Tuesday, early Wednesday morning at midnight.
Wait, what? I missed that.
So we have tomorrow, Monday, and then Tuesday, so that's technically 3 days before we see the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, I think that's a sign for us to sign off as we're starting to lose our brain cells. So thank you so much for everybody who joined us on this discussion. We hope you enjoyed it. And of course, come on back to our next live stream, which is going to be next Saturday, not next Wednesday, because I am going back over to Sideshow Collectibles to do a little New York Comic-Con stuff with them. Not in New York, here locally, virtually. But so that's why we won't be able to do a live stream this coming Wednesday, but we will make up for it to do another one with spoilers for What If next Saturday. So we will all see you then. Don't forget to like and
Noah
share.
gets a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Noah.
The final episode of What If drops on his birthday. Happy birthday, Noah.
All right, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing so you can see more videos just like this one. And we will all see you next time. I got to do a bunch of stuff before I even let us go because...
Got to click this, got to click that. Oh, so many buttons to push.
There we go. I need a producer.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Navi, what are you doing?
Navi, come on. All right, we got to go. Bye, guys.